Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks so much for stopping by. So recently I told you that I moved myself into some new digs. You know, I got a new pile of bricks, new JIMBO chateau around me. Really nice, really like it here. And one of the things that those new digs afforded me was something that I've wanted to do for pretty much my entire life, and I'm pretty sure that every guy out there has wanted to do if he hasn't already done it. And that would be the great American tradition of the man cave. For those of you not in the know on what a man cave is, it's basically a room, a structure, a house, whatever, where a man pretty much gets to build it in his image. You know, he gets to build his ultimate playland, or at least take his best shot at it. You know, all the things that he embraces about his passions, the things he likes doing, his hobbies, etc. He gets to build in this shrine to testosterone, more or less. No input from the ladies, just from the dudes here, man. This is all about the guys. This is the one thing in our house, you know, our last bastion of masculinity. So I promised you guys I'd give you a tour once it's all said and done, got everything set up in there. Well, I'm a man of my word, so if you stay tuned for just a second here, I'm going to give you a peek into the JIMBO cave. Alright, so this is the man cave door. Warning, man cave, enter at your own risk. And just had to throw this one up there. 10 rules guys wish girls would learn. For any of you who actually want to sit there and read them, go ahead and pause your video now. Okay, so let's get on with the tour. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the JIMBO cave, which is also the new retro game lounge. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so here we are. Home sweet home. The JIMBO man cave. Feast your eyes. A lot to look at. Alright, sorry guys, I can't stop smiling. Every time I come in here, it just makes me smile. You know, that and I feel like I'm, 10 feet tall and stuff. It just makes you manlier. It's awesome. Alright, so why don't we just start over here right near the door. I got my two kind of retro style arcade signs, video games and game room. Definitely one of the things that I wanted to do with this room was just kind of just take me back a little bit to my childhood, and I'm sure a lot of you out there's childhood, where arcades always had signs like this. You had like the big like neon, and LED type of stuff, that caught your eye. A lot of them had a disco ball and black lights and stuff like that. And I just came across these two signs. I was like, man, that would look really fucking cool in my man cave. Put those up there on the wall just to kind of take me back there. And well, since those are like the the nostalgia factor, those are the marketing and the kind of the billboards of the arcade sign. Well, you kind of have to have an arcade to be able to do that stuff. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of the beginning of my my retro arcade. In the literal sense. It's in arcade cabinets. So these are my two arcade machines. We have the original Aliens game by Konami. I'm sure a lot of you out there remember this one. It's always one of my favorites when I was a kid. And over here, we have Kid Nicky, Radical Ninja. I'm sure a lot of you have not actually seen this arcade cabinet, but a lot of you remember this as being able to play it on the NES. That's actually the only way that I remember it from my childhood. I'd never even seen the arcade cabinet. I was sure that there was one, when I became an adult, but had never seen one in an arcade. And when this one came up for purchase, man, I certainly couldn't resist. I mean, dude, look at that billboard. That is so 80s, man. It's freaking awesome. I absolutely love it. So both of these games are set up for free play. Here, I'll show you real quick. There's the beginning of Kid Nicky. Ninja School. Ninja School will help you, apparently. It'll help you jump really high and turn into a ninja with a punk rock haircut. So, like I said, it's set up for free play. Sorry, it's hard to do this one-handed. But anyways, there's Kid Nicky for you. Oh, Kid Nicky died. Now back over to Aliens. Not to be confused with Aliens vs. Predator, guys. This actually predates that game. But this is basically based on the Aliens movie, where you play as Ripley and as Hicks. So you kind of go through. It's a standard, side-scrolling, forward-facing shooter, that kind of stuff. Really cool game. Used to love it. I'll give you a little shot of the gameplay there. There's Ripley cutting through those aliens. Really cool. I definitely, it was definitely on my to-do list to have a shooter. in my arcade. It's just, that's one of those things that I remember as a kid. I had to have at least one shooter game. So this is definitely not the end of the collection, guys. There's a lot more to come. This is just the two that I've got right now. I think I'm off to a pretty good start, though. Alright, so we'll move over here to the library. Got some more signage up there, my light up Nintendo sign. I'm sure a lot of you have seen in my retro game lounge, and added another one there that you can see. Sorry, let me get that sign out of your way so you can see it. There you go. It's not light up, but it is a Sega sign, the old school Sega logo. I figured, really cool to have those two, there together. Whoever thought, you'd see them so close together. Got a couple of old school signs here. Got the old school, this is metal actually, a Nintendo Kung Fu sign. One up there is plexiglass, Nintendo Super System, very rare. And, hey, this is the Retro Game Lounge, so I figured I needed a lounge sign. So, there it is. That speaks for itself. So, on to the collection. Okay, so, basically all these rows right here is the burgeoning, the rebirth of my NES collection. I can honestly say that this is actually more NES games than I had when I was a kid. I think the most I ever had at one time was about 40 or 45. And I've actually got, excuse me, over 100. No duplicates there. Somewhat organized, just like right here, for example, I've got the black box titles. I don't quite have all of them. I'm just over halfway through. There's about 30. And I think I've got about 17 or 18, something like that. I'm working on it. I'd love to have all 30 of the original black box games. That'd be really cool. Then over here, I got some of my favorite co-op games. A lot of them you'll probably either have seen or will see, like Double Dragon 2. On Retro Game Lounge, just stuff that I can team up with a buddy and play, as Life Force. So I'm sure Chuck and I will be taking on either some or all of these at one point or another. Then we just got kind of a myriad of games, in here, sports games, kind of the obscure stuff, and kind of the cool one-player stuff I like Blaster Master, POW, Totally Rad, Gunsmoke. Friday the 13th, man, anybody seen AVGN knows how bad that game is, but, still cool to have. Bad Dudes, gotta have that one. Then we just got some spare game cases and stuff like that right there. I'm sorry if you can't see it, just dust sleeves for Nintendo. Then we got the SNES games, don't have too much of these, but got a lot of my favorites in there, Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario World, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, gotta have that one. Rival Turf, you guys have seen that one, and a few others. Got a Super Game Boy right there in the corner. Then we got some Genesis games in here. Got a few of the classics, got Sonic, got Altered Beast, Sonic 2, Jurassic Park, which I don't know why that game caught so much flack. I actually really liked that game. I actually did not own a Sega Genesis when I was a kid, but a couple of my neighbors had one. I used to go over to his house just to play that one, because I always thought it was so cool. It was way better than the Nintendo one. Then we got a Naki Eliminator, an NES game cleaner, still in the box actually, still in the packaging. Whoa. Sorry, Sega Genesis games. Ooh, that scared me. There we go. Okay, then we move on to some of the Sega CD and Sega CD 32X games. Let me see if I can get out of the light for you. There we go. Just a few of the classics. I don't have too many of these so far, guys. Got Dragon's Lair, Sonic CD, Corpse Killer. Actually, I have two different versions of Night Trap. I've got the Sega CD version, and I've got the Sega CD 32X. Corpse Killer is actually still in the factory wrapping. That has never been opened. Just a few other random boxes in there. Altered Beast. Got some PlayStation games, GameCube games and stuff in there. And here's a bit of an oddity in the game collection where I'm sure a lot of you don't know what these are. These are TurboGrafx 16 games. And this I actually did own when I was a kid. I think it was me and like one other kid on my block who actually got one of these for Christmas. So I had one guy I could, trade games with. We could check out each other's stuff. But I did actually have one. I remember the Christmas that my parents got it for me was $250, which was unheard of. That was before Sega Genesis, that was before Super Nintendo, that was before all of that. It was, kind of the first of its kind, of that particular era of video games. And I was so jazzed to have one, so it was so way beyond, Nintendo and stuff like that. It was so cool and so many cool games there. Again, I've had to recollect all of these guys. I did not throw away my TurboGrafx 16, just for the record. I would never have done that. I actually kept mine, but somewhere along the way, and I've moved a couple times since then, it got lost. I remember having it, not the last place that I was at, but the place before that, and somewhere along the line, guys, it just got missed. I think it might have gotten thrown out accidentally in a move, and I'm heartbroken, that, because it's the only console that I kept from my childhood. But you know, it's okay. You know, I'm rebuilding the collection. You know, you can still get them. They're still out there. You pay a little bit of money for them, but, you know, they're still out there. But some of the cool games, you got Bonk's Adventure. You got to have that one. Legendary Axe, which was the first game that my parents bought for me. I came with Keith Courage Alpha Zones, and I got Legendary Axe with it for Christmas, and I played the crap out of that game on Christmas Day. I absolutely loved it. A lot of these games I've actually never played before. You know, I just got these not too long ago, so I'm actually looking forward to checking them out. You know, I played China Warrior, Vigilante, which is the spiritual successor to Kung Fu. I played Bloody Wolf, loved that. The kid down the street from me had that, man. I used to go down there just to play. So it was like the grown-up version of Contra. I played Victory Run, but, you know, a lot of these I haven't played before, so, you know, I'm definitely looking forward to checking those out. So here's a little bit of an oddity, a rarity, I should say. This is actually the Turbo Tuner, the Turbo Vision. It's basically a TV tuner for the portable version of the TurboGrafx 16, which was called the Turbo Express. And a little bit of a history lesson for you guys not in the know. It was actually very unique for its time and even by today's standards. Reason being was it was the first handheld system that actually played the same games that you could play on the actual console. These same games that were in here, you could take to the handheld and you could play them on the road. It was 1-to-1, man, and which was just revolutionary at the time. Again, I never had a Turbo Express. They were really expensive, but like I said, this is still in the original box. You know, very cool. Just saw this. I got this at an absolute steal. For all you game collectors out there, man, you're going to freaking hate me for this, but I got this for $5 in the box, man. I absolutely could not turn that down. You know, just to add that to the collection there. You know, it looks good on the shelf, you know, with the rest of the collection. But moving on, I got a couple of other Nintendo wares here in the box. The Nintendo 4-Score, NES 4-Score, and the NES Satellite. Which were basically the 4-player adapter for the Nintendo system, which was only 2-player. One of them works on infrared, and the other one just plugs straight in. So very cool. Okay, then we got some PlayStation 1 games, stuff like that. We got some manuals, just miscellaneous stuff like that. And down here, we have my collection of original NES boxes. Guys, these are not reproductions. These are the actual original boxes. As you can see, I've got some from the black box titles. Got Hogan's Alley. I definitely got some ones that are in demand here. I got the original Castlevania, Castlevania 3, got Contra, got Bad Dudes, you know, Life Force, got original Metroid, you know, just a few others. Iron Tank, POW, you know, a lot of the offbeat ones there, you know, Adventures of Lolo. I actually have not one, but 2 of the NES cleaning kits still in the box. If I can get them back on the shelf there. There we go. Sorry about that. So I just thought that would look cool, you know, with the rest of the boxes there. It's you know, it's a collectible piece of Nintendo history. Rad Racer 2, Spy Hunter, Adventure Island 1 and 2. Got the Friday the 13th box. Got some more down here. Smash TV, Elevator Action, Karnov. I'm sure a lot of you guys recognize some of these. Got Star Tropics 1 and 2, man. Those things are both in mint condition. Those are probably my best 2 boxes. Very cool. We got a loose Sega Genesis 2 down there. We got a couple PlayStations. Beware of Zombies. We got a Game Boy Color. Then we got a few things down here still in the box. Let's see. We got a Retro Duo, the Mascot Edition, still in the box. Kind of got the Mario colors going on there. Really cool. Let's see. We got the Atari Flashback, which is really awesome. You got 75 Atari games in there. You just plug it in, you're ready to go. This one's a little bit beat up, but we got a Gen 2 Genesis. Man, that's a mouthful. Gen 2 Genesis. Still in the box with the controllers. Really cool. And look at that. Sonic System 1614. It's actually numbered. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is really cool. I haven't seen anyone else who's got one of these, not in this condition. This is a Aura Interactor, and guys, this is still in the factory wrapping. It has not been opened. God, this thing's heavy. Just kind of a huge rumble pack that you wear on your body back in the Nintendo, Super Nintendo days. Very cool. You know, really awesome that I got to buy one of those. That's still in the box. Okay, so moving right along. We got an old school, this is an actual Nintendo, this is wood, not plastic, game holder. Not really using that right now, but it looks kind of cool. And here we got 2 of the real prides of my collection. I've never seen anyone else, either you know, pictures online or on YouTube, who has 2 of these. I've seen some of you guys out there have 1 of these, but I've never seen anyone who has 2 of them. At least, you know, definitely not in decently good shape like mine are, but these were actually made by Nintendo, and I believe these were only sold at either Sears or Best Products back in the late 80s. Very limited run. There are not that many of these out there. And it's just kind of a little, you know, card, you know, it's on wheels to hold your games and stuff. You can put your little console on there, you can put your games in there, your controllers and things like that. I never had these when I was a kid, but I do remember looking through a catalog and seeing one of these and thinking, wow, you know, that'd be really cool to have one of those and sit next to my television. This one's got Mario on it, and it's got a little door, so you can keep your zappers and stuff like that in there. And on top, we've got the original two NES consoles. We got the NES 01 and the NES 02. This one's missing the flap on the top, but it does still work. Thought that would look kind of cool to have those sitting on their perspective carts there. So, moving right along. Okay, so stepping outside of the gaming thing for just a minute here. This is kind of like my automotive patroliana, you know, kind of section in the man cave. Really cool stuff. First, we got the beer fridge. I'm a Killian's fan. Really cool. So, you know, got the dedicated beer fridge there. Not just beer though. We got root beer. We got Northern Neck ginger ale. Got Capri Suns in there, all the stuff that your thirsty gamer needs, right? And the city gas sign back there. Then we got my gas pump. Really cool. So this is something my parents actually got for me at a yard sale recently, and they paid $4 for it, if you can believe that. That was incredible, man. I was like, wow, dude, I've got to have that in the man cave. And my mom sure knows how to pick them, man, because this is awesome. This looks really great in the corner here with a little light up gas top there. Okay, then we got my Rosie's Diner picture. Got a couple of outlights here. Again, guys, I got this at a yard sale for $4. You know, I'm kind of a, you know, a bit of an antiquer. It's something I like to do on the weekends. And I saw this and I was like, dude, that would look awesome on the wall of my man cave. So I was like, yeah, for $4, I've absolutely got to have it. So really cool. Then we got a couple of metal posters here. We got Norton, Isle of Man, the Norton Manx. We got Honda motorcycles, pretty much all the important Honda motorcycles from the 60s and 70s. Don't have my bike up there, but they got the 350, which is more or less the same thing. The GL1000, the CB750, the 550, the 450, the 900. You know, all the heavy hitters up there. 305 Super Hawk. My old man used to have one of those. Genuine Ford parts. I'm a Ford fan, and this is something that I bet that not many people out there have, because I've never met anyone who's got this. I have not only both the original ad from 1975 for my 75 CB360. This is not a reproduction. This is the original ad that was in Cycle World, and I've got my original license plate for my very first motorcycle. It's got an antique tag on it. I just thought that'd be really cool, you know, to kind of keep a little shrine to that. You know, it's my first love, my first experience on two-wheel power. Definitely wanted to pay tribute to that in the man cave. Okay, so we got the new leather couch here. Well, not new, but you know, new to the man cave leather couch. Pretty much every man cave's got to have one of these guys. You know, it's kind of the proverbial man bench. You know, where you sit down with your buddies to play some games, kick back, you know, have something cold to drink, and just relax and unwind. You know. All right, so now on to the consoles. We got kind of the best of both worlds here. We got the old school tube TV hooked up. You can see Super Double Dragon there. It's playing on my Retro Duo, the FC Twin. Or excuse me, not the Retro Duo, just the FC Twin. Sorry, two different systems. So that's kind of my old school console television, you know, because I like to play it on the tube. When you play it on a flat screen, it just doesn't look the same. Not to mention you can't play games that require a gun, like Duck Hunt and stuff like that, because you need glass for them to work. It will not work on a flat screen. So definitely important to me that I preserve that, you know, with that original feeling of getting to play those games. Then over here, we actually have my second Xbox. So I got the main one downstairs. This one I've kind of deemed like the Rock Band Xbox. You know, I come up here to do that stuff, you know, kind of like a private little getaway. Kind of, you know, it fits the mood and stuff that's in here. So got the spare LCD television to support that. I also have the Rock Band stage kit down there, the fog machine and light show, which is really cool. Really enhances the experience when you're playing Rock Band. Very cool. Okay, so I'll give you a little sneak peek into some of the consoles that we've got here. Let's see, up top, let's see, we got a couple of GameCubes. Like I said, that's the FC Twin down there. We got Super Nintendo and Nintendo compatibility. Before you guys ask it why I don't use the original NES consoles to play the video games, guys, sometimes I do, because this one will not play every single Nintendo and Super Nintendo game. It'll play like 90% of them, but this one, it will not play the games like Castlevania 3, Paperboy, just name a few. So, you know, when the situation calls for it, I'll grab one of these and hook it up. But since this will play the majority of games I want to play, I'll just use this because this is like $25 or $30 to replace, and that is a little bit more money, and so I don't want to burn those out. So if I can, take kind of the miles off of those by using this, I'll certainly do it. But back to the consoles in there, we got, let's tell you what, let's open this up so you can get a better look. Okay, we got, let's see, a couple of GameCubes. Those just picked up from I think a flea market or something like that. I mean, people are practically giving these things away. They just really don't know, how much they're worth to somebody like me, who loves this old kind of stuff. Then we got the kind of the teeny weeny mini PS1. Still works. Good stuff. Why do I use this one as opposed to the other one? Well, because it's smaller, guys. It takes up less shelf space. You don't really sacrifice anything with that. Okay, and we'll move down here. What do we got here? We got the TurboGrafx system with the turbo booster on it. Never had the turbo booster when I was a kid. My mom actually bought it for me once, taking it home, and much to my surprise, my television did not have RCA input, so there was no point in me having it. I was so devastated. Just because I couldn't have, enhanced graphics and stereo sound and stuff, even though it doesn't make really a huge difference. It does make the picture look a little bit sharper as opposed to coax, and it is nice to have stereo sound, don't get me wrong, but, not a huge difference, but just a little bit easier. Okay, and then we got Goliath over here, this monstrosity of a gaming system. God, this is hard to move out. We got the Sega CD32X. Look at that thing, man. 3 systems in one. Sega Genesis, 32X, and then you got the CD over here. This thing is so massive. I mean, it's so big. Again, never had one of these when I was a kid. Always wanted one, but we were basically a Nintendo household. Again, I did have a TurboGrafx, but we were pretty much a Nintendo household, so I had to kind of go over to the kids with Sega Genesis house to be able to play that, and they would come over to my house to play Nintendo. So that's all good. I'm grown up now, I got one. It's not too late, right? Never say never. Then on top, we just got a couple little things right there. We got Skeletor on Panther, little girl from Hawaii, got a Madball, a Slinky. Then we got Battle Cat. I know he's missing armor and He-Man, but I'm working on that, right? And these you've seen before. Had these hanging in my my old kind of den area at my old place. Just figured these belong on the wall. Got He-Man and Skeletor in the collector's edition. Then I got the new Masters of the Universe figures. And I got my Big Trouble in Little China figures. Very cool. So I'll give you one last shot from over here, so you can see what it all looks like. Then we got the arcade games, the sign, and the collection over there. And we got the beer fridge. Alright, so that about wraps it up, guys. I want to thank everyone so much for stopping by and tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of the Jimbo Cave and the new Retro Game Lounge. Really looking forward to doing new episodes of Retro Game Lounge, and I might do, a few other things and stuff in here. It's not just Retro Game Lounge. We're going to do some other stuff in here, but, really looking forward to using this room and, kind of hanging out with you guys, kicking it old school, playing some old video games, and just having a good time. So again, thanks so much for stopping by, guys, and game on, and I guess we'll see you next time.